Chapter 1. A web of intrigue in the bustling streets of New Delhi. A covert operation was underway. The Indian government's unease over purchasing Russian oil with Chinese yuan was causing turmoil in the country's energy sector. But behind this economic drama lay a deeper, more ominous secret. Enter Filip De Mott, a Belgian intelligence operative on assignment in India, tasked with uncovering the truth behind the missing oil payments. The Indian subcontinent was embroiled in chaos, hidden beneath the surface of political maneuvers and international intrigue. The world watched with a mix of curiosity and trepidation as India's government found itself ensnared in a complex and dangerous web of covert operations, political rivalries, and espionage. For Filip De Mott, a seasoned Belgian intelligence operative known for his uncanny ability to untangle the most intricate of conspiracies, this was a call to action like no other. As he received his mission brief, he knew that he was about to embark on a journey that would challenge his skills, test his resolve, and potentially alter the course of history. As the global oil market took center stage, De Mott's task was to delve into the heart of India's growing discomfort with purchasing Russian oil using the Chinese yuan. What began as a financial dilemma had evolved into a multifaceted crisis with implications that extended far beyond mere transactions. It was a puzzle with missing pieces, and De Mott was determined to find them. The world was on edge, uncertain of the forces at play and the hidden agendas that lurked beneath the surface. In this ever-shifting landscape, Filip De Mott stood as a sentinel of truth, ready to unravel the secrets that threaten not only India, but the delicate balance of international relations. His journey had begun, and the world held its breath, waiting to see what revelations lay ahead. Chapter 2. The Silent Rivalry. Chapter 2. The silent rivalry. As De Mott delved deeper into his mission, the layers of intrigue continued to unravel, revealing a growing apprehension within the Indian government. It was a tension that had been building beneath the surface, largely hidden from the public eye, but now poised to shape the course of nations. The unease that had gripped the Indian government stemmed from the rising tensions between India and China over their disputed border. For years, the two Asian giants had been engaged in a standoff, their troops clashing along the Himalayan border. It was a geopolitical rivalry that threatened to erupt into something far more sinister. De Mott recognized that the Russian oil deal wasn't merely a transaction between two nations. It was a pawn in a much larger game, a silent rivalry that pitted India, China, and Russia against each other. The delicate dance of diplomacy and the exchange of oil for currency had become a strategic move in this high-stakes geopolitical chessboard. As he continued to gather intelligence, De Mott couldn't help but wonder if the petro-yuan conundrum was more than it appeared. It wasn't just about settling payments. It was about power, influence, and the ability to control the narrative in a world where nations vied for supremacy. The silent rivalry had far-reaching consequences, and De Mott was determined to reveal its hidden truths, even if it meant risking everything in the process. Chapter 3. The Undercover Game. Pretending to be a financial analyst, De Mott embedded himself in the highest echelons of Indian oil trade. His mission was clear: to find out if this unease was a pretext for something more sinister, something that could upset the delicate balance in international relations. With the silent rivalry between India, China, and Russia as the backdrop, Filip De Mott donned the persona of a financial analyst. His mission required him to embed himself in the highest echelons of Indian oil trade, a world of high-stakes deals and intricate financial transactions. The covert operations he had undertaken in the past had honed his skills, but this assignment presented a unique set of challenges. Pretending to be a financial analyst was De Mott's ticket to the inner sanctum of the Indian oil trade. It granted him access to high-level meetings and discussions where the fate of oil transactions was decided. The financial jargon, market analysis, and discussions of currency conversions became his daily routine. To the outside world, he was just another analyst, scrutinizing numbers and trends. But beneath the surface, he was a spy, carefully collecting information that would unravel the mysteries of the petro-yuan conundrum. His mission was clear: to find out if the unease within the Indian government was a pretext for something more sinister. There was a lurking suspicion that the reluctance to use the yuan was not merely about financial convenience, but a strategic move. It was a move that could upset the delicate balance in international relations, a balance that held the power to reshape the world order. As De Mott delved into this intricate web of financial dealings, he knew that the petro-yuan conundrum was more than it appeared. It was a symptom of a deeper malaise, a symptom that masked the true illness. The world watched, unknowing, as a spy walked the fine line between discovery and danger, determined to unearth the hidden truths that could potentially rewrite the future. Chapter 4: A Trail of Disappearing Payments. As Filip De Mott continued to navigate the world of Indian oil trade under his guise as a financial analyst, his inquiries led him to sources within the Indian government. These well-placed informants began to unveil a troubling reality: at least 7 oil shipments from Russia had not been paid for. The payments, once routine, were now in limbo, causing ripples of concern throughout the energy markets. The information sent shock waves through the global oil industry, and De Mott's investigation had unearthed a financial mystery of colossal proportions. What had initially appeared to be a matter of reluctance in using the yuan had transformed into a full-blown crisis for the Indian oil industry. It was a crisis that had the potential to cripple the nation's energy supply and destabilize the international oil market. De Mott recognized that this financial conundrum was far more than a mere inconvenience. It was a symptom of a deeper issue, one that extended beyond currency exchange rates and trade deals. The missing payments were not just about finances. They were about power, influence, and the unseen forces that manipulate in international relations. With this new information in his possession, De Mott felt the weight of responsibility upon his shoulders. He knew that the missing payments were the key to unraveling the mysteries of the petro-yuan conundrum. As he continued to tread the thin line between discovery and danger, he was determined to follow the trail of disappearing payments to its source, no matter where it led. The world watched as a spy's relentless pursuit of the truth edged closer to exposing a conspiracy that could shake the foundations of nations. Chapter 5: An Uneasy Alliance. As De Mott delved deeper into the petro-yuan conundrum, the story continued to unravel, revealing complexities that extended beyond mere missing payments. It became increasingly apparent that the unease within the Indian government was not solely about the geopolitical tensions or the missing payments. It was also a matter of economics. The costs associated with using the Chinese yuan for oil trade had become a significant source of discomfort for the Indian government. De Mott's investigation had uncovered a fundamental truth: converting Indian rupees to Hong Kong dollars and then into yuan was an arduous and costly process. The financial burden imposed by this mechanism had given rise to legitimate concerns within the government. It was clear that the inefficiencies and increased costs associated with the yuan were a genuine cause for alarm. However, De Mott remained suspicious. He had a hunch that this economic unease was not the whole story. The petro-yuan conundrum was like a veil, masking the hidden agendas and clandestine operations that had brought India, China, and Russia to this critical juncture. The world watched as De Mott walked a tightrope between economic realities and political intrigue. He knew that the petro-yuan conundrum was more than a matter of financial convenience. It was a piece of a larger puzzle. With each revelation, the spy inched closer to exposing the deeper layers of the conspiracy that threatened to disrupt the fragile alliance between these nations. It was a game where the stakes were high, and the outcome remained uncertain, but De Mott was determined to uncover the truth, no matter how elusive it might be. Chapter 6. Unmasking the truth. Filip De Mott's relentless pursuit of the truth led him deeper into the shadowy world of oil trade and international politics. With each piece of the puzzle he uncovered, he began to suspect that the missing payments for Russian oil might be part of a covert strategy, a complex game of geopolitical chess where nations wielded currencies as weapons. The missing payments had initially appeared as a financial dilemma, a consequence of India's reluctance to use the Chinese yuan for oil transactions. However, De Mott's investigative instinct told him that there was more to this story than met the eye. It was as if the financial uncertainty and the missing payments were pieces of a larger puzzle, a puzzle that concealed a hidden agenda. De Mott pondered the possibilities. Was India leveraging this financial uncertainty to its advantage in some way? Was the delay in payments a calculated move to gain a strategic upper hand in the complex web of international relations? Or could it be an inadvertent consequence of the ongoing geopolitical tensions that had been simmering between India, China, and Russia? The world watched as De Mott ventured into the murky waters of espionage, aware that he was inching closer to a revelation that could change the course of history. The petro-yuan conundrum was no longer a straightforward economic matter. It was a web of intrigue, a cloak and dagger game that involved not only currencies but also the destiny of nations. De Mott knew that the truth was elusive, but he was determined to unmask it, regardless of the risks and uncertainties that lay ahead. Chapter 7. The Spy's Dilemma. As Filip De Mott inched closer to unraveling the intricate web of the petro-yuan conundrum, the peril of his mission deepened. The more he uncovered, the clearer it became that the ramifications of his discoveries could potentially destabilize international relations, causing a ripple effect that could reshape the world order. The spy found himself standing at a crossroads, burdened by a critical decision that would not only impact his own life, but also the future of nations. The truth he had unearthed had the power to expose covert operations, hidden agendas, and political rivalries that span continents. It was a truth that could bring to light a complex game of currency wars, espionage, and manipulation that had been lurking in the shadows. On one hand, De Mott contemplated the path of revelation to disclose the secrets he had uncovered, to bring the petro-yuan conundrum into the light, and to confront the nations involved with the reality of their actions. The truth, in this scenario, would be a catalyst for change, and transparency could potentially lead to a more stable and just world. On the other hand, the spy was well aware of the dangers that lay ahead. Exposing the secrets he had unearthed would not only risk his own life, but also potentially ignite a chain reaction of political fallout, economic turmoil, and geopolitical strife. The world was a fragile balance of power, and the truth had a tendency to disrupt that balance. The spy's dilemma was profound, and the weight of the world rested on his shoulders. The world watched as Filip De Mott grappled with the decision that could change the course of history. To reveal or not to reveal, that was the question that haunted him, and the answer would shape the future in ways he could scarcely imagine. Chapter 8. The unraveling. The deeper Filip De Mott delved into his mission, the more he found himself ensnared in a complex web of intrigue. The missing payments, the underlying geopolitical tensions, and the silent rivalry between nations were all interconnected, like the threads of a vast, shadowy tapestry. Each revelation further blurred the lines between friend and foe, truth and deception. De Mott's investigation had taken him to places he could never have foreseen, In a world where secrets were currency and allegiances were ever shifting, he was constantly on guard, unsure of who he could trust. The missing payments were a piece of the puzzle, but the full picture remained elusive, hidden beneath layers of deception and misdirection. His mission was not just about unraveling the mystery. It was about navigating a treacherous game where the stakes were higher than he could have ever imagined. As he ventured deeper into the clandestine world of espionage and international intrigue, De Mott knew that he was inching closer to a revelation that could change the course of nations. The world watched with bated breath as the spy walked a tightrope between discovery and danger, uncovering secrets that could reshape the global balance of power. The unraveling of the petro-yuan conundrum was not just a matter of missing payments. It was a dangerous journey through a world where the truth was elusive, and the consequences of its discovery were uncertain. De Mott's mission was far from over, and the world held its collective breath, waiting to see where the path of intrigue would lead him. Currency Games, A Spy's Gamble was a tale that delved deep into the realms of intrigue, espionage, and the intricate workings of international politics. In a world where the boundaries between reality and deception were often indistinct, this narrative wove a complex tapestry of shadowy operations, hidden agendas, and the precarious fate of nations teetering on the edge. Filip De Mott, the unyielding protagonist, navigated this treacherous landscape with meticulous precision, risking his life and reputation in a high-stakes game where missing oil payments were but a glimpse into the enigma. As the story unraveled, the global stage witnessed a dramatic play of clandestine maneuvers, covert schemes, and the fragile equilibrium of power. The narrative explored the depths of secrecy and the intricate connections between political players, revealing the vast network of spies, operatives, and conspirators that shaped the world's destiny. De Mott's journey through the twists and turns of international espionage offered a glimpse into a universe where truth was a scarce commodity, and the consequences of its revelation were shrouded in uncertainty. As the narrative unfolded, the world held its breath, aware that De Mott's revelations could potentially rewrite the global order. Currency Games, A Spy's Gamble was not just a story of missing payments. It was a testament to the intricate dance between powers, where the consequences of every move were far-reaching and the line between victory and defeat remained blurred.